looks like his names are live. Okay, hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports Score coming to you today. Recapping the Maryland game. Hold on, I'm just trying to get myself on a page here, so I should be on it here any second. No, we're going too far. I think here we go. Okay, yeah. So Maryland won 37-16. They look sloppy doing it, but they got the job done. Um, Offensively, Maryland's offense, in my opinion, can pop a few plays off any team in the country. They could pop a few plays against Georgia. They could pop a few plays against Alabama. Anybody in the Big Ten, we're going to be talking a lot about the Big Ten in this live stream. They're going to be popping. They could pop a few plays off of anybody. You look at Maryland overall, 37-16. If you want to see, they're up 24-9 at halftime. If you want to see a coach be very angry up 15, watch Mike Locksley's, I guess you'll call it, going into the tunnel, crushing near, I guess is what you'll call it. He was not happy at all despite being up 15. Maryland, I thought could have been a lot better in that first half at least. They're lucky that Kent State could. They're lucky that the defense held just enough for Kent State to get some field goals in. Give Kent State credit. They're not a bad team. They'll be competitive in the MAC, but Maryland, they are 4-0 for the first time since 2015. They have a big game Friday night against Iowa, which I am possibly thinking about live streaming my reaction to. I expect Maryland to be ranked after this game because I do think that if they're a 4-0 team, their wins against West Virginia, if West Virginia could find a way to beat Oklahoma this evening, that's a very impressive win. You got Illinois. I mean, Illinois did lose 13-9 to Purdue, but Illinois, in my opinion, that's a quality win as of right now. So I think Maryland could possibly be a top 25 team. You look at the schedule down the road and really around the Big Ten. I'm going to talk about the Big Ten specifically here first, and then I'm going to talk about everything else here. So, as I said, Maryland, they won 37-16. 19 ranked Michigan, they beat Rutgers 20-13. I did not watch a single snap of this game. I'm going to believe that Michigan just toyed around with Rutgers in the second half because they were up 20-3 there at halftime. So I'm going to probably just watch a condensed game of that. The team we faced on Friday, Iowa, they only beat Colorado State 24-14. Here's the thing with Iowa. Offensively, I don't think they're that good. As a matter of fact, I actually think they're probably going to be towards the bottom of the pack in the Big Ten when it comes offensively. But defensively, they're really good. I still think Maryland could pop off a few plays off that defense, though. Like, I think Maryland's capable at a minimum of scoring 17 against anybody. So, I mean, Iowa's defense is really good, but I think Maryland's going to pop a few plays off them. I think Maryland might be one of, if not the best offenses Iowa's going to play this season. So we'll see what happens there. Penn State, kind of a sleepy start against Villanova. It was only 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. Got to 38-3, but Nova did score 2 touchdowns. Now, to Nova's credit, they're undefeated, so I guess they're not a bad team in FCS. But good victory there for Penn State. Notre Dame, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not a good team, guys. Wisconsin offensively, Graham Mertz, not good at all. He is not good at all, Graham Mertz. 4 interceptions. That pick 6 to make it 34-13 was god awful. He just missing throws all over the place. 18 for 41, 240 yards, touchdown, 4 interceptions. I mean, here's the good news for Wisconsin. They're good enough to beat all the bad teams in the Big Ten, and they're in the Big Ten West, so they'll beat Illinois. They'll find a way to beat Purdue. They'll beat Nebraska. They'll beat Northwestern. They'll find a way to beat Northwestern. But Minnesota, more on them on a second. I think they'll beat Minnesota, and they'll find a way. And that Iowa game, I'll have to pick Iowa at this point from what I've seen so far. I don't think Graham Mertz is a good quarterback at all. I think Jack Coan proved that he was the better quarterback. So you just look at Wisconsin in general. And I was gonna come up on here saying how Wisconsin I thought was just being a bit too cute play calling, but I mean they have to try anything when they have a quarterback like Graham Mertz who he's just not good. He's just not good. I don't know what to tell you all, but besides saying he's just not good, he's not that guy. They'll still win 8-9 games, Wisconsin most likely, but he is not that guy. This Arkansas game just ended. We're going to talk about that here in a minute here. But other Big Ten games, Minnesota. Minnesota. Yikes! 14-10 loss to Bowling Green. I still think Minnesota offensively. I still think that I still think they could like pull off an upset because of the type of offense they run. But I mean, you look at Minnesota. That's an embarrassing loss on so many proportions. You go ahead and look at Bowling Green. They haven't even won a game since 2019, in October 2019. So, congrats to Bowling Green on getting a big time victory, probably the biggest victory in your program for in a while. Because Bowling Green used to be good back in the late 2000s, around 2010. But what a bear! I mean, if you're Minnesota, yikes! I mean, absolute yikes. The one game that did surprise me a little bit was Northwestern Ohio, 35-6 Northwestern. I thought Ohio was at least going to cover this spread. This was one of their upset picks. Give Northwestern credit though, 35-6. I don't think Ohio is a good team though, and 4 at this point. And they proved that today. They're not a good team at all. You look at Northwestern. I mean, you look at the Big Ten West now. I think Iowa's the favorite, but after that, it's wide open in the Big Ten West. Purdue, they went ahead and beat Illinois 13-9. Good job if you're Purdue, finding a way to win a game that you have to win if you want to get to a bowl game. Sloppy, but 13-9. Illinois, here's the good news. I think you have the right head coach. I think you're heading the right direction. It's gonna be a long road, though. It's gonna be a long road if you're Illinois. Nebraska, Michigan State just kicked off. Akron and Ohio State's gonna kick off here soon. Same from Indiana and Western Kentucky. But if you look at the Big Ten East, in my opinion, I think personally I think it's a 3-team race between Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. I'm not gonna say Maryland because I can't. I just don't trust us to beat those teams. I just can't to come on here and tell you that I'm confident that we will even beat any of those teams. I do think we'll have a shot against any of those teams, but I mean, just not that good. Just not that good at all. If you're if you're a man, well, let me reword that. I don't know what I was even saying. I got a bit distracted watching television screen here, but basically what I was trying to say was I just don't trust Maryland to win the Big Ten East. That's basically what I'm saying. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't trust Maryland to win the Big Ten East. You look at the ACC. I mean, Boston College, they went ahead and beat Missouri 41-34 like I told you they will. Good win for them. That game went to overtime. Give Missouri credit. They gave up a touchdown with under 30 seconds. It got to 34-31. Missouri did drive down the field, kick a 56-yard field goal. So give Missouri credit there for getting that game to overtime and coming back. They were actually down 27-17 going into the fourth quarter. But Boston College, I think I said if that game at home, I thought Boston College would find a way to win, and they did. Pitt, they beat New Hampshire 77-7 after losing to Western Michigan. Western Michigan beat San Jose State. They beat somebody 23-3. Virginia Tech, very disappointing against Richmond 21-10. Miami 69-0 over Stephen Cross Central Connecticut. And that's all the ACC games that happened. Two on Friday. One of the upsets we picked, Wake Forest did beat Virginia 37-17. Syracuse, they beat Liberty 24-21. I did not see that one coming. So congrats to Syracuse there. Liberty. Yikes. I mean, people were saying, oh, Liberty's going to be a top 25 team. Apparently not. if you can't find a way to beat Syracuse. Tulsa, they're pulling away from Arkansas State. East Carolina, Charleston Southern, 16-14 East Carolina there in the second quarter. SMU going on the road and beating TCU. A lot of people saying TCU was a top 25-ish team. Apparently not. SMU's 4-0, so we gotta consider them being in the top 25. Temple, they got a win against the FCS. UTSA getting the job done against Memphis in the comeback. Down 28-14 going in the fourth quarter. I didn't catch any of this one, but I'm going to have to watch a shortened game of this one. Big win for UTSA. I have a sneaky feeling if UTSA continues winning, they're going to be ranked in the top 25 in a few weeks. They're definitely going to get some votes this week for sure at 4-0. Touchdown NC State. Wow, this game went into overtime. Clemson and NC State. They just call it touchdown. NC State did. It's gonna come down to Clemson's offense. And do we trust Clemson's offense? Nope. Clemson offensively is a joke. Compared to last year. This offense is not good at all. It looks like if they can't get a score here against NC State, because NC State paying the extra point, which, by the way, NC State left 9 points on the field because of their kicker. So, and I stress special teams on here. So, but it looks like they're going to review this, but it was a touchdown. But yeah, paying the extra point, 28-21. Clemson can't score. We have Clemson ranked at 10. I might just drop them out. Clemson offensively, it's not good. Duke and Kansas they're playing this week. Duke's up 52-33. So good for Duke. You'll go ahead, go 3-1. Kansas, you're 1-3. I said Kansas, if you can be South Dakota, that's a win. But Duke, you'll go 3-1. Baylor pulling off the upset against Iowa State, 31-29. I did not see this one coming. This was one of the locks of the week. Baylor's 4-0. Iowa State, yikes. Are you a top 25 team? Not good at all if you're Iowa State. Texas hung 70 on Texas Tech. They doubled them 70-35. Yeah, Tech, and I was kind of high on Texas Tech. I thought Texas Tech. I didn't think they were going to win this game, but I did thought that they could at least get to 7, possibly 8 wins. Texas Tech, but that defense looked like Cliff Kingsbury defense right there. So not a good performance there. Let's see in the Pac-12, UCLA up 14-7. Utah come back in the fourth quarter down 13-10. They beat Washington State 24-13. Good win there for Utah. And then the SEC. A lot of talk about in the SEC. You have Georgia. We'll talk about that game first. NC State went for 2 and didn't get it. So if Clemson scores a touchdown, gets an extra point, they're out of your 28-27. But anyways, Georgia, they could have named the score against Vandy. That was a murder that happened in Nashville, Tennessee. 35-0 at the end of the first quarter. It was really bad. With what happened in that game, in my opinion, it was just really bad. You gotta feel for Vandy. It's gonna be a long season for them. Georgia, they got Arkansas next week. Arkansas just won 20-10 against Texas A&M. That's gonna be a hell of a game. It's a noon game. And we'll recap it here, of course. Georgia's gonna. I think Arkansas is gonna give Georgia all they can handle. But if you look at Arkansas' schedule, on the road against 2 Georgia, on the road against 13 Ole Miss, at home against 23 Auburn, who's losing 24-19 right now to Georgia State, even though they just scored a touchdown, so they just got the go ahead touchdown. If they'll probably go for 2, and they're going to get out, most likely get out here with a victory against the Georgia State Panthers. By the way, Sean Elliott, anybody wanting a new head coach? Sean Elliott is the name you need to look at. Let me change this to this Auburn game, actually. As we're watching Clemson, they're going to try to get a touchdown. 2nd and 10 to hand off the ball and get 5 yards. Yeah, Auburn goes for 2 and got it. I just flipped the win, and that's what happened. 27-24 Auburn. They could hold on here. They could survive up. They could up 24-20. I mean, they're up 27-24. If they could if their defense could hold, they can survive here and get out here with a win. This LSU Mississippi State game. Mississippi State, they tried coming back. I mean, I personally think that onside kick was a bit fishy. I don't know who came up with the ball. I think Mississippi State touched it illegally 10 yards, but it looks like it was not called. But LSU, I said LSU would go in there and find a way to win. They won and covered. I took the -2.5, 28-25 LSU. So that's good if you're LSU. But if Auburn can hold here, they'll get the victory. 4th and 5 for Clemson. This is Clemson's season, in my opinion. If they don't get this, I mean, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I've been saying the word yikes a lot lately. Get the volume 1 for here.
The Clemson Tigers. No Trevor Lawrence. And no ETN. This next group facing an uphill climb. This is what the scoring has looked like on the afternoon and now into the evening.
I want to talk about a few things here, and then I'll end the stream before these 7:30 games kick off. All right, let's go. Let's see the 4th and 5.
On that spectacular grab.
I want to talk about Arkansas, and I want to talk about this game, this Clemson NC State game. I kind of hit what I want to talk about Wisconsin. Oh yeah, Notre Dame, by the way. Let me talk about them real quick. Notre Dame, congrats to Brian Kelly being the most winningest coach in Notre Dame history. You look at Notre Dame, I still think they have 2 losses on the schedule, but we'll see. I'll hold off. Okay, 4-5. Here we go. Nope. Is there a flag? Nope. NC State pulled off the upset. 27-21. Congrats to Dave Doeren. I know I've kind of been on his case lately, saying that I think he is not that good of a coach or anything. Congrats to him. This is a big win for probably his biggest win since he's gone there, honestly. This can help Dave Doeren, and I'm gonna lay off Dave Doeren for the rest of the year. He beat Clemson. That gives me enough cause to lay off him. But if you're Clemson, I don't think you're gonna be in the Big D Sports 4 pool. I just don't. I mean, if you're Clemson, this offense is horrible. This offense, compared to last year, is horrible. Auburn just scored a touchdown to get to 34-24, so this game's over as well. But don't be fooled. Georgia State was up for most of that game. And yeah, Clemson players pushing the fans, talking. This Williams Jr. guy shouldn't be doing that. I know he's frustrated, but he shouldn't be doing that. Let the NC State fans celebrate. That's not a good look for him. But yeah, this offense is not good at all.
Justin Ross just couldn't get his hands out to it. It was actually a great throw. Oh, man. They're going to be watching that one all week and realizing how close they were to win this game. What does this mean to the Clemson Tigers?
It means that you're done.
Well, you never say never, right?
It means you're done in the ACC. Clemson's going to lose at least another game or 2, guys. The way they're playing right now, they're going to go 8-4, 9-3. At best, they're going 10-2. But yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe I keep them at 25, but I mean, yeah, this. I mean, NC State's gonna be ranked. They're 3-1, but I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be tough figuring out the poll. I'll try to get it out tomorrow, but yeah, they're not good at all. Not good at all if you're Clemson. But I want to talk about Arkansas real quick. Arkansas, the Razorbacks. Excuse me, the Arkansas Razorbacks. I think have a really good shot of going ahead and winning the SEC West. I really believe it. I also think Ole Miss has a really good shot as well. I think it's a 3-team race. I don't. Let me mute this game real quick so you guys can hear me. I look at the SEC West. I think it's the best division of football. You look at Mississippi State. I think they go 5-7. I think the West is just too tough. I think any other division, just about Mississippi State's in a bowl game. You look at Auburn. I think they get to a bowl game, but it's gonna be one of the low end SEC bowl games. You look at Texas A&M. I still think they'll win 9-10 games. I think they lose to Alabama, but outside of that, I think they're right there. I think they're right there. The quarterback injury with Haynes King out is really a bad. It's not good for them. But I think they lost to a better team today in Arkansas. I think Arkansas is better than A&M from what I saw today. You look at LSU. They beat Mississippi State on the road. They went on the road and found a way to win Stark Vegas, which is good. I think that's an 8-win team. I think they're losing to Bama. I think they're losing Arkansas. Let me see where that Ole Miss game is at. The Arkansas game is in LSU, but I still think Arkansas is going in there and beating them. Let me see where the Ole Miss game is at. The Ole Miss game is in Oxford. So, and Tennessee just broke off a play, touchdown. Volunteers are going to tie this game up at 7 against Florida. But I think there's 3 more losses on the schedule for LSU. You go ahead and look at Alabama. I think they're the number 1 team. I do think they're going to lose a game somewhere. If that's to Ole Miss, if that's to Arkansas, A&M, maybe LSU goes on the road in a game that they probably don't have a sucker puncher's chance in and gets them. I'm leaning towards Alabama. I'm leaning towards whoever comes out of the West is going to go 7-1. That's what I'm leaning towards. I don't think any team in the West is going undefeated. I think Arkansas is a top 15 team. I mean, you look at Arkansas. First of all, let's talk about the quarterback, Jefferson, and he's only a freshman. Closest thing to Cam Newton since Cam Newton's been in the league. Maybe Lamar Jackson, but to me, with more of the body type. This guy, and I hope he gets better because they have Georgia next week, and that's going to be a tough game. I mean, you look at KJ Jefferson. I mean, 31's automatic for Arkansas. The way they run that offense, 31's automatic. 3rd and 2's automatic. Most 3rd and 3's are going to be automatic. Hell, probably over half the 3rd and 4 is going to be automatic. Their team and the running backs they have some very good running backs there at Arkansas. Starting with I forget the guy, but let me look at the stats to make sure I have it correctly. Yeah, starting with Traylon Smith. That's his name, Traylon Smith. Starting with Traylon Smith. They have very good running backs. They run the ball for 109, nearly 200 yards a game. You have KJ Jefferson who can throw the ball. I mean, Arkansas is the type of team they could drop out 15 times, complete 9 out of 15, and still beat you. That's how good I think they are offensively. Kendall Browse calling the plays. This offense is clicking. Defensively, Barry Odom, this defense is really good. And it starts with, let me get his name here. I'm trying to get his name. I'm trying to look in the cheat sheet known as the Phil Steele magazine, but I'm not finding his name. But let me let me go ahead and look it up here as well. For Arkansas, number 55 on the Arkansas. That guy's really good, ridiculously good. So let me get his number. Let me get his name because I want to say his first and last name, because he deserves it. Trey Williams, senior out Columbia, Missouri, fouled. I think he basically did he foul Barry Odom from Missouri when he did. So he was a Missouri player. Basically fouled Barry Odom to Arkansas after he went ahead and Barry Odom got let go. You look at him, the way he played. How do you stop that if you're at any offensive line? Because if A&M's offensive line, who has a bunch of 4 and 5 stars, can't stop it, who the hell's gonna stop it? I mean, if you're playing Arkansas, you're gonna get a 4-quarter game, and it's gonna be smash mouth football. That is what it's gonna be. That's what it was against A&M. It's gonna be like that next week against Georgia. That's gonna be I'm telling you, that's gonna be a 4-quarter game against Georgia. I know people are very high on Georgia after the smackdown against Vandy, calling them the best team, giving them the number 1 rating. That's gonna be a 4-quarter game next week. I personally, I think Georgia wins that game, but that's gonna be a 4-quarter game next week. So, in my opinion, I just think that he's not in the college football Bible, but we got his name because he deserves to be mentioned. But in my opinion, I think that Arkansas is a top 15 team. I think Ole Miss is a top 15 team. Bama's obviously a top 15 team. I still think Texas A&M is like a top 15 team. They're gonna struggle. They're gonna lose to Bama. I believe they get Ole Miss in College Station, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look that up real quick here on the schedule here real quick. But they actually no, they get them in Ole Miss. They might lose that one. So once again, tough schedule because Arkansas they look like a top 15 team. You get Bama in 2 weeks. They are the top team in America. You look at Ole Miss, they're in my opinion top 15 team. I think LSU's a top 25 team. So and you get what? You get what out of the 3 I said? 2 out of 3 on the road. Now, granted, you get Bama at home, but it's gonna be it's gonna be an uphill slide for A&M. I think to get to 10 wins this season in the regular season. They might still go 9-3 and get to 10 wins, but if you're A&M now, I honestly think the season's over. Looking at that schedule, I think you're at least losing one other game in the SEC. I don't think 6-2 is going to be good enough. I think 7-1. Maybe Bama goes 8-0 and beats everybody, but I'm telling you right now, Arkansas, Sam Pittman, and what he's doing there with his coordinators, and Ken DeBrowes and Barry Odom, and Sam Pittman better hope those two do not get head coaching jobs because people are going to be looking at them for head coaching jobs. It's absolutely insane. 2 years ago, Arkansas was like the butt of all jokes. Hell, they were even getting laughed at more than Vanderbilt in the SEC. And they're getting blown out by teams like North Texas, Western Kentucky was going in there and blowing them out like 45-17. So, in my opinion, I think if you're Arkansas, you gotta be pumped up right now. You guys have a top 15 team that I think could beat anybody on any given Saturday. But I just wanted to tell everybody my thoughts on that. This is the only live stream I'm doing. I'm going to wrap it up now. We're at 30-minute mark, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching the live stream. Hit the thumbs up, please subscribe to the channel. Great appreciate if you do that. This is McD the Beast signing off. Go Terps for 4-0. Iowa next Friday.